I think you also make the distinction that if I write to the Chronicle and you know, a comment, that's posting, that's not publishing, correct?
Right, right. And actually that's a good distinction between, say, a letter to the editor in our old local newspaper versus a comment that you add to an article that's written online. So it makes sense to say the Ann Arbor News published my letter to the editor. That makes perfect sense. It doesn't make sense to say the Ann Arbor Chronicle published my comment. We simply make a platform available for people to add comments. Essentially, there's there's no other requirement other than it be literate. There's some few criteria that we apply for not allowing a comment to appear, but really it's not a publishing activity.
Right.
It's a posting activity.
So what are the benefits? I mean, you do talk about having a publisher, okay? And what are the benefits of publishing over posting? What are the benefits of publishing for the community? Why should they care that something would be?
Well, I alluded to one of the benefits earlier in the archival aspect. People who are professional publishers, businesses that are publishing businesses are good at archiving stuff. It's built into what they do. Publishing software that's used on the web, like we use, there's a built-in archiving feature. The city's website doesn't have, as best I know, a notion of archiving. I mean, they can certainly leave it up there forever and say, yes, we intend to leave it up here forever, but that's a different activity than actually archiving and being able to say, look, I can see when this was published. There's a date stamp on it, and I can go to and collect all the things that were published, say, on a particular date. I'm not so sure that the city's website would be set up to do that.
What about accuracy?
Accuracy. Well,
does that come into it? Is someone making sure that, I mean, if it's posted, can it be changed? Whereas if it's archived, it cannot be changed?
Well, I think let's take the issue of how do you know that the thing I'm looking at now was really the thing that was there when it was claimed to be published.
Yes.
So, for example, the City Council passes a new ordinance. Jackie Boudry, the city clerk, says, okay, I'm going to take this ordinance and I'm going to post it on the city's website in the section called, new ordinances. And someone comes along and says, like 2 years later, I've never seen that before. I wonder if it was really there within 10 days after it was passed. How do you know? Well, you could ask Jackie Boudry, and I think that she's an honest person, she's competent, she's capable, she will give you the best answer she can. But I would feel more comfortable asking somebody who doesn't have an interest in giving you the right answer. So if you ask an independent publication, when was that published? You should actually be able to tell, just from looking, it was published on this date, and you know for a fact that it was, and I think that's a better arrangement, that you have this external check, a third-party check, instead of asking the government itself, did you in fact have this up on the date that you say it was up there?
Right. In your column, you state that according to City Attorney's Office, no other municipality in Michigan offers its city council the kind of latitude that this charter amendment does to determine compliance with requirement of dissemination. It's kind of interesting that the comment comes from the office that probably helped write the amendments. We're almost out of time. Could you just highlight why you feel it's so important that these amendments are voted down?
Well, I think that essentially it conflates two separate issues. One is the issue of the medium of publication, and I think it's a reasonable thing for us now to contemplate the idea that publication of public legal notices could be satisfied through online publication only. I think that's a fair thing to consider, and we should consider it, and we should probably do it. But by saying we're also giving the government the chance to be its own publishing house, that it itself can be the publisher, I think that that's a mistake to combine them. So if they weren't combined, I would feel comfortable voting for it, for both of them. But given that in a sense, these two separate issues are conflated, I think is a good reason to vote against them. We can rethink and get better language and bring it back later.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate your coming. This is Dave Askins is explaining the flaws of Charter Amendments A and B. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.